Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Taurus, here we go. Taurians, I wanted to take a look at any of the positive things coming up for Taurus, okay? And the reason I put it in that context is because we have a really nice backdrop I just love this one, and I love the sunlight coming through, and I wanted to look, toward the future, and we're going to keep it as specific as it may present itself. So any other little details, we'll make note of that. But it says that Taurus is possibly going to be having an opportunity to walk solo for a bit, and that would be something that they would want to do, because this is looking like a positive. So this could be as simple as, oh my gosh, I get a chance to like take a walk on my lunch break by myself. you know, sometimes it's great to have colleagues and friends, but on the other hand, once in a while, we need that time and space to just breathe and just be flying solo just a little bit. And I feel like Taurus is like, oh, I finally get that opportunity. I'm able to move, just me for a little bit. And I don't think it's rude to anybody. I just feel like Taurus is going to enjoy taking a walk by themselves somewhere. This could be a simple like stroll. This could be reclaiming, like, you know what, every afternoon I'm going to go ahead and do this for myself. I personally happen to love walking, so I can understand that. But the Eight of Cups is about, and at a spiritual level also, like journeying out and doing something that's right for oneself. It's a card of like individuality and independence and following one's own path. And I think it's going to become more apparent in a spiritual sense also. Like where Taurus's path lies may not be where everybody else's life is. Right now, Taurus may be choosing to be single, even if every friend and family member is always at them like, hey, who are you going to be with? Who are you going to get booed up with? Taurus might be like, look, honestly, I choose to be single for a hot minute. This is something I need to do for me. I need to not be fretting about relationship stuff for the moment. We have Page of Pentacles coming up next. And that Page of Pentacles is, I think it's a reset button for Taurus. There is something fresh. I don't know if Taurus is really going to gravitate toward, lighter and brighter colors, whites, soft pinks, color tones that kind of give us a sense of purity and a refresher. You know what I'm going to say? I feel like Taurus has possibly said, I might have been in a relationship for a long time, and I want to clear out the energy that has been like stuck to me from the past people or relationships that I've been in. It's nice to brush that off. I feel like it's like an aura cleansing. And I think Taurus is like consciously aware of that. I am like removing other people's karma from me, including past partners. And I am just kind of like refreshing my entire energy. I feel like it's more than this. Taurus could be like going through their home on a little like cleaning jag, where they're like, I feel like I want to maybe not even just wash the bed sheets. Maybe I want to buy brand new ones. I want to, paint a wall and, maybe turn everything a little bit brighter colors. I feel the need to refresh. I feel the need to clean. And I'm picturing somebody who's like polishing and scrubbing like baseboards and, some like deep cleaning areas where they're like all the stuff that gets caught. That's the stuff that I want to clean out. I'm also picturing like, somebody cleaning out like their hairbrush, and getting rid of the hair that gets stuck in our hairbrushes. It's those kinds of things that I think there's an overall sense of, I want things squeaky clean. And it's actually because Taurus is, without realizing it, maybe they are preparing for something to enter their life. We see the dragonfly flying forward. That is a new person entering into Taurus's world. I don't see it as an ex. We have the Strength card. Taurus could be befriended by a pet. There could be a new pet. Maybe it was a previously feral cat who's going to pick Taurus and only Taurus. This could become a familiar. It could be a scruffy little dog or some creature that maybe Taurus doesn't exactly own, but it comes around and is like there as a bond with Taurus. But it also represents Taurus made space for things that they genuinely, and people and situations that they genuinely want to welcome in, fresh, new people, beings, energies, even animals. Taurus is open to the things that will fit into their life now. I really feel like Taurus is we start out with Taurus feeling so low, but they want it that way. And then that allows them with this very clean slate. Taurus could also be moving and they could wind up in like a different neighborhood, different area. And then a pet comes and, dubs them like, hey, I'm going to be living with you now, Taurus. This could be the first time that Taurus has had a pet in a very, very long time, and it could be just perfect. But there is something here about an animal that is a familiar. Now, maybe if Taurus had a loved one, a pet in the past who passed on, this pet who adopts Taurus could kind of be carrying a message from a pet of Taurus's past. There could be some kind of energy where Taurus is like, oh my God, you remind me so much of, and I almost want to like say a name. It's like I mean, maybe Taurus is going to name this pet, their old pet's name, but a 2.0, it just feels like there's this really wonderful, loving energy. But I do feel like there is a little bit of as much as this is making space for the new, as far as like people and experiences go, when it comes to a pet, that's a different message. There is some creature that adores Taurus that is coming into Taurus's world, and it'll be, I think, a wonderful bond, but they could carry a message from like a pet on the other side of the rainbow bridge, a loved one. It's very sweet, it's very gentle, but I think Taurus will understand that fully. It'll be like, oh my God, this is so special. Now, the strength card is also, obviously, it's, empowerment. It's a sense of, like excitement. Also, I don't know if Taurus wears their hair sometimes in like, pigtails or something, but I think it looks really cute if that is Taurus's thing. Masculine or feminine, I don't know. Maybe Taurus is like, if it's a masculine, like maybe it's a high, bun, or I'm also picturing somebody who does some unique things, like particularly if this were a masculine Taurus. I'm picturing like I've seen it mostly the style like Native Americans, where it's like, kind of like a long mohawk, but shaved off to one side or all the way around, but with like a long strip on the top, and it looks really unique. Really, I always thought that looked so sexy. But Taurus could do something really unique with their hair, like a shave on one side or asymmetrical, feminine or masculine, doesn't matter. But I'm getting this hair is something unique about Taurus. Maybe Taurus just has like really thick hair. Maybe this is, that alone makes it really unique. But there's something about Taurus's hair, and I think they're going to really embrace that. That represents something that is unique about them. And it's kind of like if you see this Taurus, you immediately know this Taurus has like a strong personality type. I'll, of course the Taurus does, because it's a bull, right? There is a stubborn streak, but there's such an individual energy coming through this story consistently. All three of these speak of a gentleness, a softness, but a power to this Taurus. And that's really apparent. I think that's why Taurus is breaking from the norm. And they could be, even like Taurus might be wearing clothing that's a little bit louder, that's a little bit different style than what is popular or what everybody else is doing. I see Taurus like completely breaking from patterns and norms, who they bond to, what they want. They want to stand as an individual. We saw that in the first card. We saw Taurus doing things different than everybody else around them, than everybody else in their group, but also now welcoming things that are really going to be right for Taurus. Six of Cups. I feel like Taurus has great relationships with their family members, the people that they care about in their life. But Taurus still is a little apart. They kind of watch how everybody else does things. And it's like, you know what? That's great. That's right for you. Love my family, love their traditional values. But I actually do things a little to the beat of my own drum. I don't know if there is something to do with balloons here. I don't know if somebody's birthday is coming up soon. Or if there's something about, like, I'm actually picturing somebody who's like painting something or decorating something, not necessarily for a birthday. Like, this is not a celebratory energy for Taurus. It would be like maybe there's somebody else who has a birthday coming up, and Taurus is like creating something or decorating something. It may not be a birthday, but there's something about balloons. Now, we could also say, letting something float away. And that could be Taurus is letting their cares float away to a certain extent in the future, as it pertains to, do I need to operate like everybody else does or like the norms of society, or can I be my own unique self? Taurus is like, I totally can be my own unique self. This, I don't know if somebody has something tangled in their hair or if they're going to do like dreadlocks or something. I'm just seeing the ivy that is growing across her hair, and I've never noticed that before. And it just makes me think, I keep thinking about Taurus having like thick hair, amazing hair, and doing different things with it. So I don't know if there's something about like a style that is going to come forth. I will also say there's a ton of leadership quality coming through this. Like Taurus is a very unique person. And they're fully embracing that now. I'm picturing, because of the hair and because of like mane and dreadlocks and how that's reminiscent of like a lion's mane, and that can play a role in like, I'm the king of the forest, the king of the jungle kind of thing. I'm wondering, that makes me think somebody's recently had some connection to Wizard of Oz, if I could be king of the forest. I don't know. There's something here about Taurus being unafraid to be a trailblazer, to be the first to do something, the first in their family, the first to do something so different. With the Judgment in the reverse, Taurus doesn't ever expect to go back to like living in, I'm not saying Taurus was living in a box before, but they don't see themselves ever going back to outdated beliefs. They don't see themselves going back to, I don't know why I keep feeling like there was a tremendous amount of like traditional energy. Even here, if we look at the outfit, this is like very much, 1940s, or like the classic, black and white outfit that shows like, oh, this is a classic event. I don't know that Taurus, they wouldn't go toward like classical music. They might go toward jazz, more improvisational, more upbeat, more lively. They wouldn't do things the way their mothers and fathers did things. They are living in a different world. This is Taurus doing something unconventional, and they probably will never go back to a conventional life. I don't see this as Taurus going to please or people please anyone. Taurus could choose to stay single, but live with a lover for the rest of their life if they choose to. And it doesn't matter if the rest of the family is like, oh my gosh. Taurus is like, it's all right. I don't have to, I can have my own values that make me content, and I can still love and cherish and appreciate family who does things different. But for myself, I know that I can be happy in a different lifestyle, in a different, pattern of doing things. I don't have to head for marriage. I can do things that really make me happy. Honestly, I don't even know. This storyline does not look like Taurus is looking first and foremost for a relationship right now in this snapshot of time. In the upcoming near future, it looks like Taurus is more concerned with exploring this world, living life on their terms, going after some personal goals. And I think that they're more like on a life path at the moment, because they've got this plan. They've got something that they want to achieve, something that they want to build. I feel like this is a very gifted Taurus. Twice we kind of see like this fairy type energy here. And I think that Taurus has like a very unique, like intellectual gift. I think what Taurus can conceive of and come up with could be very, very unique. Like nobody else on earth would have the same perspective that Taurus does. We've got a magic wand. I kind of feel like Taurus knows that the only kind of support they really need is people that celebrate and be like, you go. You know what? You are doing something nobody else can do, and I support you all the way. That kind of lover I could see Taurus like having in their life, somebody who like lifts them up, somebody who's in their cheering section. But I just don't see relationship being the primary focus, where it's like, oh, I just want to be at home building decorating a house together. I see Taurus like undecorating things and refreshing things and allowing only the things into their life that fit on this life path, that fit as part of my goals, that fit, that will support me in getting to these things that I must do for my life path. Page of Cups. There's also an energy here of when Taurus has completed some big life purpose that is bubbling up in them right now, I think they'll enter into like phase 2, and then maybe they can say, all right, now I can give to a relationship. The truth is, I had to get this other thing out of my soul and create it, and now I can turn my attention. Now I can kind of like relax a little bit, and now I can do partnership. And now I have time to soak up, other people's energy and really get to know somebody and pay more attention to a romance and to emotions. But for a little bit, this says the upcoming near future for Taurus is, I'm sorry, but I got to walk my path. I've got this clean slate, and I've got to go do some things that are pretty brave, and it's going to require me to break away from what other people expect of me. I can't keep answering, the questions from Nana. When am I going to, settle down and make grandbabies? Like, that's just, I can't answer that question anymore because I've got to do this other stuff. The only thing is, I think Taurus is going to end up with everything. I think that they will end up with a happy partner. I think they will end up with a very true match for themselves, but that has to be a little further down the road. Right now, Taurus has this other like intellectual pursuit that they've got to be able to break away from whatever the norm of their community is and do what their heart says they must do. This is like a calling that Taurus has to fulfill, whatever this is. And it is magic. It is, Taurus is a very magical character. Whatever that is for Taurus, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for them. And I'm so happy for the way they seem to be, like building something. I don't know if Taurus is at some point in time going to like, their life will take multiple changes, but I see them owning a cafe at some point. So weird side note to that. But all right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I send you guys lots of love. Bye.